everyone, it's me Tasha, and today I want to talk to you about money. I haven't talked to you about money in a while actually, and I want to talk to you about money as I'm wearing "Shopping is my cardio" t-shirt. So this is going to be really funny. So people ask me about how I turned around my debt, how I got my student loans in order, how did I learn how to save, and all these other great things that I'm happy to share because I want to be transparent. So from the very beginning, so I went to college, got into a whole bunch of debt. I went to undergrad at Southern University. It was out of state. It was like $18,000 a semester. Yeah. So I did that. Then I came back. Then I did grad school. I didn't finish grad school, so I had debt from that too. So, you know, all that debt plus consumer debt. And I'm going to be honest, I really thought between $50 and $150 a month was hurting me financially, so I didn't pay my debt, like my student loan debt. I was just like, F it, like, nah, I want to keep my $50. Looking back, I would say that was like the dumbest financial move I ever made. I won't say going to college out of state was the dumbest, like, I made some great connections in college, lifelong friends, like some supporters. Like, I love Southern to death. I love Baton Rouge. A lot of coming of age stuff happened there. So, but the dumbest move was not paying my student loan debt and it going into default, causing a lot of interest and a whole bunch of shit. So the reason why my debt is more than it's supposed to be is because I wanted to pop bottles, go to Target, and then buy expensive stuff and not pay $50 a month. Like, I just want to be completely honest. That's what I was doing with my life. So fast forward, for the last 3 years, I've been trying to get my finances in order. The first year failed miserably. Like, I was just like, oh, okay, I'm paying some debt off. Last year was like the year that it really hit me that being in debt was not cute. That was like my aha moment. Everyone's aha moment is different, but I was like, my thought process was, I want a guy that has a 750 credit score and he has da 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 and his student loans are paid off. Meanwhile, me, I'm out here with like a $500 credit score, student loans out the ass, I'm not paying them, da da da, Sally Mae's calling me every day. So that was like my aha moment. So I sat down and was like, okay, let's look at how much money I'm bringing in, how much can go to savings, how much can go to debt, how much can I pay myself, how much can I pay my freelancers and all this other stuff. But my main thing was paying debt. Like, I always tell people the first thing that gets paid, quote unquote, is my tithes, like 10%. I live off 90%. I am a Christian, so I live off 90%. I don't live off 100% of what I make. Next comes my student loan debt or regular debt, all that's lumped together. I will be honest, I do have credit cards. I still have them. I have two. I have a Capital One and an American Express. One's business, one's personal. The personal one I use, that way I can go to the spa every month. Like, I have the money to go to the spa, but I just put it on the credit card. And the American Express is my business one, and I use that for travel. So yeah, keeping those right now at the time. But they're paid. I pay them off every month. I do want to note that. Because I used to be that person that paid the minimum down. Yeah, don't do that. So back to the student loan debt. So basically I was like, how much money can I put towards this and, you know, get it right? And the thing was, I was like listening to Dave Ramsey every day between like 1 to 3. Like, don't bother me. I'm zoned out listening to Dave Ramsey. And everyone would call in like, yeah, I paid off my student loan debt. I paid off the house. $160,000 done in 18 months. And I'm sitting here like sipping my macchiato, eating a croissant, like, nah, that's not about to go down. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. You have to be realistic about who you are. There's spenders and there's savers. I'm a spender. I'm learning to be a saver. So I'm just gonna be honest. So I got a number that I could live with. At first I was trying to do 50 and 40%. No, that is not Tasha. So I decided to do 30% a month. So 30% of what I make a month goes to my debt. And that's just like off top. Like, I don't even think about it. Like, 10% automatically goes to savings, to tithes. 30% automatically goes to my debt. And actually 10% actually goes to savings. So 50% of the income is already gone. It's like decided, complete, like there's no changing around. And one of the big things I decided to do was have a separate checking account for this, like money that I'm not seeing. Like I have online banking and there's a debit card for it because, you know, you have to set up automatic, what is those things? ACHs or whatever. Yeah, you have to set those up. So I do have those or whatever. And like if I'm paying like a random bill that I had from like 10 years ago when I decided to get a Neiman Marcus card at 18 and buy like paper denim cloth jeans for $2.98 or whatever it was, yeah, I'm paying that with that card. But so I just like, honestly, like I just had to commit to this. And there's been off and on months where I'm like, oh my God, I have all this money in the bank. Let me swipe my card and buy a Chanel bag. And then I'm like, oh, but what happens if something happens to me and then I have no money and then I am back into student loan debt even higher because I'm going in default. So you have to be like realistic of who you were. So I decided that every month this money was just going to go to the account and everything else. I have like, I think a year's worth of student loan payments in there. And most people would say, oh, just throw that all at your student loan debt. I work in an unstable environment. Technically, I'm a freelancer. I'm an entrepreneur. Like, my money is not guaranteed. People could stop buying ebooks tomorrow. People could stop consulting me. Tech companies being like, oh, no, we really don't want to work with you. You're a little too expensive now. So I need to make sure that I'm secure. That's the thing. Like, me being secure matters to me. So putting this money into a checking account, it's there. It's sitting there. The money comes out, you know, and then I'm able to throw more on it. So one of my payments is like $300 a month. Yes, for one student loan, it's $300 a month. So that's someone's car note. That comes out. But if like, so all the money is there and I'm always continuously putting money there. I just want to note that because I have other debt I'm paying off. So if I'm able to put $1,500 on something, I'll put $1,500 on that because I have that extra money in that account to throw it at a bill. So it's going back to the Dave Ramsey effect of snowballing. So everything is getting paid their minimums. That's what he tells you. You pay all the minimums on there or whatever, but you go like smallest to biggest. So if you have a debt that's $400 and then you have a debt that's $10,000, you're going to attack the 400 with all you got and then, you know, get all those debts away, then get to the 10,000 because you'll have more money to put towards it. Because most people, they'll have like a whole bunch of bills and they're just putting the minimums and that's it. They're not putting no extra money towards them. So I actually put more. So there's like one student loan, I think the payment is $50 a month. I actually pay $125 a month. That's how I set it up. So it's actually going to be paid off like I believe like February next year. So that was like just something I did. So creating a financial plan of wealth while you're a small business owner it's not hard. We make it hard. Like everyone's like, oh, I want to pay myself. I want to get a salary. You don't deserve a salary. I'm going to be honest. Like if you have debt and you're not saving, you don't deserve a salary. Like I'd rather you have $10,000 in savings, like your personal savings for something happening, or $10,000 in your business savings if something happens, before I tell you to cut a check for $2,000 a month to yourself. Like, especially if you're a solopreneur, you have an LLC, not, you know, sole proprietorship, but like you have an LLC. Most of your stuff is tax write-offs. Like, you know, you're writing off your house if you're using a portion of it. You're writing off your phone bill. You're writing off your car note, your mileage. You're writing off your food. Like, yeah, so those are those things. You see what I'm saying? Like, you really don't need a check because it's covered. Like, my health insurance is a tax write-off. I pay that from my business account. The money comes out. You see what I'm saying? So I would be less consumed with paying yourself and more consumed with building wealth. And the first way to build wealth is knock out debt and save. One of the things I tell all my clients is get $1,000 in savings. Have that. It's a really great cushion to have. Something happens, you can pull it out and, you know, stop paying your debt for a second and rebuild it back up or whatever. So having a financial plan is like the best thing that ever happened to me. I guess you can say I'm adulting because finally at 30 it hit me to adult and get my finances in order. But I just want to be transparent and honest with y'all because I feel most people are not being transparent and honest. They're like, oh my God, I made $100,000 this year. Da, 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 da. Okay, yeah, I do make that. I do want to point out that I'm in the top 13 percentile of wealth in America, but it's really not that wealthy because I have debt. Like one of my friends, we sat down, her and her husband realized they were in the top 10%. I think top 10, like 7%. And we joked like they had this virtually the same amount of money they're making. That's the amount of money they have in debt. Like, he's a doctor and she's a lawyer. So it's not like, you know, they're wealthy in that sense, like on paper, but they're still paying off debt. So we're more wealthy than we realize once we get our finances in order. Like, my goal is to be debt free by 32 or whatever, something I'm very happy with. I'm not going to be like super aggressive, putting myself in stress. If I had like $20,000 worth of debt, hell yeah, I'd knock that out in a year. But I'm looking at like 70,000. So I'm going to take my time. I'm going to be just completely honest, because I like shoes, I like Starbucks, and shopping is my cardio. So, but I am financially savvy. I am, you know, putting money away. Like 10% comes out. There's an automatic savings that comes out once a month or whatever for a certain amount that comes from my personal to my personal savings. And it works for me. If you're one of those people that sees money and you want to take it, and you want to swipe your card, get an online savings account that's like, it comes from your personal savings and it gets transferred once a month or whatever, or every week or every paycheck to that account. I have a client that does that, and she's been doing it for 3 years. And like one day something came up and she's like, she's in a panic. Like, she had $1,000 in her savings, but she was still in a panic or whatever. And I was like, what about your online savings account? She had completely forgotten, like completely forgotten. And there was the nest egg that she needed to take care of all this stuff. So I'm just going to be honest, get financially savvy. I hope, you know, in the next, you know, 10, 20 days or whenever it is, you have an aha moment, or someone's just being real with you and they tell you what money's like. Because I'm not going to put this facade on that it's, you know, I'm blowing money fast, because like I rarely pay retail. Like, I have to really, really like something to buy it, you know, full price. And I'm one of those people, I'll spend a whole bunch of money on food, but not on clothing out the gate. Like, I don't know. So those are like just my honest, you know, feelings, thoughts about finances. There's a whole bunch of books you can buy. I've read several on finances. Like, I'm going to be honest, like, I used to be a Susie Orman person. And then, you know, got into Dave Ramsey. And so there's just like a couple things. Just learn who you are. If you're a spender, know that you're a spender, and find out ways how you can be a saver. You know, that's just something you just learn how to do. And just be honest with yourself. That's like the most important thing about this. Be honest about who you are, what you're trying to do, the plan that you're trying to create. Like, I'm not knocking anyone for spending, because I used to do that. I still spend money. But having security is like the best thing in the world. Like, it really is. Like, I can, you know, put my thumb on my phone, open my app, and to know that there's money in the bank and I have no worries, it makes me feel so much better. And it's really funny. Like, now that I have money in the bank, I don't want to spend it. Before, when I barely had money in the bank, I wanted to spend it all the time. So it's just a really great feeling knowing that there is money there in the account. The designated accounts are doing what they're supposed to, and I'm building the wealth that I need to build, you know. So build wealth. That's what I'm going to leave you with. Build wealth. Have an aha moment. I hope you get your finances in I hope your finances that are in shambles get out of shambles and they get to where you want them. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them below, and I will talk to you later. Holla!